Hello, this is Thomas G. Henry from the Edge of the Globe with a very basic FL Studio 7 mixer tutorial. We'll start with the Club Basic template. I had a little something open there before. Okay, so very basic here. A couple different ways to access the mixer. The mixer icon is this one here. So you can simply click it. That'll call up the mixer. You can also press F9. F9 coincidentally also stops Camtasia from recording. So I won't use that here, but in using FL Studio without Camtasia, you can use F9 to call up the mixer. From an instrument channel settings window, you can also double click this FX area here to call up the mixer. If you move your cursor just above this little area, so you get the single arrow. Clicking that, you can change which bus this instrument is sent to, and just below you get the down arrow also, and you can drag as well to do it. So for now, we'll put this on bus 3. Notice how it just highlights bus 3, but it doesn't change the name. Let's drag this back down to the default master here, and close this. Whichever whichever instrument has this green light lit is the selected instrument, and you can select multiple instruments by right-clicking. With multiple instruments selected and a specific bus selected, you can come to this menu here in the corner of the mixer and go to Link Selected Channels and link to this track, and that'll take all of these selected instruments and put them on this track only. But starting from this track, we'll have the first instrument go to this track, and the next instrument go to the next track, and so on, like so. So now we have the kick automatically assigned here, and it renames it whatever the name of the instrument is as it's defined here. So kick, clap, hi-hat, snare, as we have. And a quick demonstration of what this means to have these instruments on different channels. Just throw a quick little beat in here. Each instrument has its own channel here where you can control whether you want to mute it, solo it with the right click, pan it. Stereo should be recorded here, so I think you should perceive that panning. All of these channels by default get sent down to the master bus. You can reroute this, but this is essentially that's the most basic functionality of the mixer. You can additionally change the volume of these, relative to each other for a mix. To reroute, we're going to be getting into effects and things, and that all happens down here. So back in the olden days, you just had 4 send buses. So the way this would work is if you wanted to conserve resources, or if you only had one reverb in your hardware rack, you can put an effect on a send bus. Let's say, I said reverb, so we'll do reverb. Where are we? A fine reverb, that is. This is all native FL Studio stuff too, so if you have FL Studio, you should be able to do this. Even with the demo, you should be able to do this. You just won't be able to save it, or whatever the limitation is there. So we have a reverb on the send, and let's say we want to put a clap on that send. So the way this mixer works is with the clap bus selected, we come over here to this knob on send 1 where the reverb is, and you can adjust how much the clap will be sent to this send bus. So the clap is now going to come 85% to send 1, as well as still 100%, or whatever this is here, I guess another 85% to the master channel. By default, this is always set. So we'll play this again. You hear the reverb on the clap because it's coming out here. If we were to switch to another bus, keep your eye over here. We go to snare, this comes back down because we're looking at the snare's view of the mixer. So from the snare bus, it's not sending anything to send 1. so the snare doesn't get any reverb, but it could share the reverb with the clap. So that's the old school way of using sends. Now with this new version of Fruity Loops, I'm not sure which version they started using this, but you can actually send to any old channel. So let's go back to, let's see here, on the hi-hat channel, let's say I want to put in some delay. So we have some delay on there. Let's make it a little bit exaggerated so we can hear it. So very, clicky, ridiculous delay. You can also solo and mute effects. So we can turn that on and off for the delay. Now, if we wanted to send the kick to the hi-hat channel, we select the kick channel, and then we come down here to this icon to activate the sending to the hi-hat from the kick. This icon signifies that this is the channel we're on, the kick channel. So come over to click hi-hat, and now the kick is being sent to the hi-hat channel, which is itself being sent to the master. Don't ever do that. So these are some basics of the mixer. We can get into effects another time. There's a whole world of automation you can do with this, which is lovely. One last thing I'll show you is some of the EQ stuff down in the corner here, as I want to keep this basic. Wait, let's kill that delay here. You can also control the amount of the effect with this knob. So this will mix, now it's at about 50-50 clean and 50-50 delayed versus no delay at all. Turn it off all the way. But on the kick channel now, this is your EQ. It represents your frequency ranges here. I should probably do an entirely separate thing just on EQ to keep this mixer tutorial short and sweet. Yeah, I'm not even certain that this is going to come through with the compression I'm using for this video. Well, that's it in a nutshell for the mixer. Feel free to ask me more questions and I'll get into more depth with stuff, but that is a basic once over on the mixer.